Welcome to the next part on civil remedies. Remedies under Indian Contract Act 1872. First is suit for specific performance. Whether there exists no standard for ascertaining the actual damage caused to the aggrieved party by non-performance, where monetary compensation will not be adequate relief, where the act to be done in performance of the trust. In general, the court will only grant specific performance where it would be just equitable to do so. Second, suit for injunction. Judicial order restraining a person from beginning or continuing an act, threatening or invading the legal right of another, compelling a person to carry out a certain act. The right to relief by way of injunction is contained in Part 3 of the Specific Relief Act 1963. Section 36 provides the prevention relief may be granted at the discretion of the court by injunction. Section 40 provides that the damage may be awarded either in addition to or in substitution of the injunction. Second is suit for cancellation. Breach of contract no doubt discharges the contract, but the aggrieved party may sometimes need to approach the court to grant him a formal rescission, cancellation of the contract. This will enable the plaintiff to be free from his own obligation under the contract. Next is compensation. Section 73 of ICA 1872, where compensation for loss or damage due to breach of contract, the aggrieved party may seek compensation for the party who breaches the contract. When the aggrieved party claims damages as to consequences of the breach, the court takes into account the provision of the law in regard and circumstances attached to the contract. The amount of damage would depend upon the type of loss caused to the aggrieved party by the breach. The court would first identify the loss cost and then assess their monetary value. Next is liquidated damages, where the contract itself addresses the issue of consequences of breach and stipulated a penalty. Section 74 of the Indian Contract Act will come into play. When such a contract has been broken, if a sum in the name of the contract as the amount to be paid in case of the breach, the party complaining the breach is entitled to receive from the party who has broken the contract as a reasonable compensation not exceeding the amount so named. Section 74 emphasizes that in case of breach of contract, the party complaining of the breach is entitled to receive reasonable compensation. There is no principle which requires that once the provision of liquidated damages has been made in a contract, in the event of breach of one of the parties, which cause has to be read covering all types of breaches, although parties may not have intended and provided for compensation in express terms in all types of breaches. Example, Steel Authority of India versus Gupta Brothers Steel Tubes Limited 2009 case. Next is the remedies under Specific Relief Act 1963. Recovery of possession, Section 5 to 8. Specific performance of contract, Section 9 to 25. Compensation, rescission of a contract, Section 27 to 30. Declaration decrees, Section 34 and 35. Injunction 36 to 42. Compensatory jurisprudence. The jurisprudence states that the compensation should be provided when a wrong happened to a person, irrespective of the absence of any express constitutional or legislative provision of a judicial precedent. Dilution of locus standi principle. With the advent of PIL, etc., the court invokes Article 32 or 226 where the legal injury is sufficient. Compensatory jurisprudence took birth in the case of Rudolph Shah, where Honorable Supreme Court broke one more link in the shackles of restrictive implementation and added another feather in the cap of Article 22 to crown the personal life and liberty of the people. Over a period of time, Honorable Supreme Court has been dynamic interpretation to the constitutional remedy provision under the Constitution so as to enhance the fundamental right of an individual. In LDA versus M.K. Gupta, state is liable to pay compensation if the citizen suffers a loss or injury by arbitrary act of the state. Curative relief. The concept of curative petition was evolved by the Supreme Court of India in the matter of Rupa Ashok Hura versus Ashok Hura and another. It emanates from Article 137, power of the Supreme Court to review any judgment pronounced or an order. The question was whether an aggrieved person is entitled to any review against the final judgment order of the Supreme Court. After dismissal of the review petition, the Supreme Court in the said case held in order to prevent the abuse of the process and to cure gross miscarriage of justice made it it may reconsider its judgment in exercise of its inherent powers. For this purpose, the court has devised what is termed as curative petition. In the curative petition, the petitioner is required to specifically the ground mentioned therein that has been taken in the review petition filed earlier and it was dismissed by the circulation. New trends which cease to be seeking civil remedy to control criminal behavior. Nowadays, remedies are sought in non-conventional areas such as privacy protection, in case use of information technology, etc. This feature may pose serious legal issues and constitutional challenges. Thank you.